Okay, you're not gonna see it, but it's there.
Okay.
Unless, no, I don't think you just see the agenda, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but we have our agendas.
Yeah.
I guess if you want to pull up the.
You want them to see you?
No,
instead?
that's okay.
Okay, well, great, so we're not gonna call the meeting to order or anything, so let's just go over kind of the whole business and we'll do updates. So if you did you grab the
Yeah,
thing?
got
So
both of
grab the one with the logos on top. So this letter went out to the elementary schools and middle schools and middle school and high school in Grande. So it details it's a guide for teachers, and it details what is asked of them. So there's dimensions on it. It says what is a signal box, why we want you to help. It says for first and third graders you can do this, for second whatever, it's in there. If you look down to the bullet points, it describes each grade level. It also describes each location for each school and which signal box they're in charge of. And then it provides some details about the measurements that we would like to see and the submissions and when they're due and the timeline. So it's pretty detailed. That's something that you all worked on last spring. We finalized it. I made it pretty, and then it went out. So all the schools have that, and presumably they're working on it. I would love maybe for you, Nick, to follow up with the schools and ask them. There was a little bit of confusion that this was a flyer that had to be approved. All flyers in the school district have to have a disclaimer on them. This is not a flyer. This is directions to teachers.
Right.
So it's not intended. So I'm wondering if you'd be willing to send a email or go door to door or do whatever you like, and just ensure that as the chair of the commission, ensure that they've received it, that they understand the directions, and if they have any questions, and also make sure that they are distributing it to their teachers. The middle school principal emailed me back and said, I've sent it to our art teacher or art teachers. So I'm feeling good about the middle school. Nobody else has said anything. So they got it via email to the administrative folks, and they got it paper copies brought to them.
Okay.
I'm just a little nervous about the paper copies being confused with flyers. They're not intended to be that.
They're not flyers.
It's one per teacher. It's instructions for teachers to lead a class through an activity that we're asking them to do. Would you be willing?
Yes.
Or able, or both, to kind of maybe call around or go door to door and kind of.
Do you want me to hit up all these schools?
Yeah, that would
Okay.
be. Except for the middle school, I'm feeling he replied. He was like, "We got to handle it." But
Okay.
it would be handy to go to the offices of all of them and say, "I want to make sure you guys have this," and I can give you a bunch of copies.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you can just say, "Can you make sure each teacher gets this because we do have a timeline we're looking for." That would be awesome. Oh, what's
So
this?
I'm
Karen. Oh, Karen.
Okay.
Karen says, "How do I get in?" And then she gives me thumbs up. So,
So is she locked out?
is she here or online?
Oh, maybe online. I'll check it out.
All right. So.
I only have two quick comments about, well, just one comment and a question. First comment is, you just referred to Nick as chair.
Aren't you chair now?
I thought I was vice chair.
Are
Vice
you
chair.
chair?
I'm still chair. And that's okay. It's totally fine. I just want to make sure it's okay for the, if you
Yeah.
have to take minutes or anything.
Yes,
Um,
please. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Hopefully,
Oh, yeah,
hopefully that will change though, soon.
Well,
Yeah, 'cause you're doing other stuff.
I'm moving on.
Mm-hmm.
I have put in a year, 2 years here, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, the other thing is I have a question. So this says packet. So I was just curious what the packet
That's
is.
it.
This
There's
is
no
it?
packet,
This is just
yeah.
a letter? Okay.
We could probably change that.
Oh no, that's okay. It's totally fine. It's just as a teacher, I would be looking for a packet of more
Makes
information.
sense. Yeah.
Um,
I
Yeah.
think originally it had like that photo that I put in the body. It was in
Mhm.
there, and then there was like the measurement diagram. But like these people are supposedly smart. They can figure out that it's like the measurements are in there.
Yeah,
I don't think
no,
we need
that's
a
fine,
picture
yeah.
of measurements.
No.
So
Um,
okay, cool. Hi Karen, we see you. Thank you for texting back.
hi Karen.
She's watching on YouTube, so that's fine. Okay.
Okay, but I'm not seeing the measurements on this, so there must be more to it.
There.
Am I just missing a page?
I don't see it here.
Oh dear. Maybe there is a packet. Okay, maybe there is one more page to that. Let me look.
Because I would be kind of confused if I was a teacher.
Yeah, they should be the measurements. For
And
sure.
I know that Ivy was talking about all these things. She didn't slack. I know that. So
You know what? You're right. Yeah, when we took it to the schools, there was the measurement. Because I said, Evie, I can't find that. She sent it to me, and Chris took 2 pages stapled. So that was that plus the picture of the dimensions.
okay.
So yeah, I'll
Okay.
have to
Perfect.
get you. Unless Ricky, you want to do this as the chair. I named the wrong person. So
No, it's
It's alright, I
okay.
got it. I got it.
I trust Nick to do it. That's fine. I just yeah.
So Nick, I'll get with you and just make sure you have the right stuff, and then I'll give you a pile of them. There's like, well, 2 per at Greenwood and Island City, and there's more at Central.
Okay.
Because each teacher, K through 5, should have one of those,
Mhm.
and then up to the high school, they just should need 1 or 2, because that 1 or 2 are teachers.
Okay.
And if,
So are you just gonna like email me the rest of the packet, or?
well, I'll just print them for you. So
Oh,
I can
okay.
print them all,
Okay.
and then I can hook up with you and give them to you.
Sure. All right. Sounds
It's
good.
crazy.
And I know I already said this before, all of these packets went out, but I really think we ought to consider offering extra time after school or even at the after school program for kids to kind of brainstorm this, because teachers don't always have a lot of time, and trying to cram everything in the last minute is hard.
Well, there's lots of time, right? What's the
Right until
timeline?
December. It says December 13th, which is fine, but I mean they're just always up against deadlines. And so while I think from our perspective that's a lot of time for a teacher, that's really stressful when they have to teach to tests.
Sure. Yeah. So what were your suggestions after school or
that we have an artist go in and talk about it. And what it means, and so that the teacher doesn't have to come up with another lesson plan. Having to come up with a whole lesson plan is just hard on teachers. So they all have art learning standards that they need to meet in every grade. So this is nice for that purpose. But I think we could offer a little more assistance in some way, whether or not that's Nick and I going in to talk to the teachers during a staff meeting or something. I'm willing. Just something to keep in mind if we get any, not pushback, but any questions or anything.
Yeah.
it's actually genius because I think that's an easy thing to be like, yeah, no.
Yes, yeah.
But if they have somebody there. Like we do that with the urban forestry program. We do Teresa will go and do a lesson about trees and the theme. Last year was trees are for the birds, like that one.
Yes,
okay.
And
exactly.
then she will talk about the benefits that trees have for birds and all the different things trees do
Yes.
for birds. And she'll do a lesson, and then she'll say, okay, now there's a poster contest. Here's the paper. Think about the theme and what I've told you, and I'll be back in 2 weeks to pick them up.
And she does that on an hourly, like as an employee, city employee, correct? So she gets paid for that. So we may want to consider sponsoring an artist through Art Center East or something.
Hey, Karen, I've got you on speakerphone. Yeah,
That's Karen.
it's great. Thank you. Bye. We're good. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So,
And I don't know if that would mean that we could maybe push it back, the deadline back a little bit. I don't want to, I'm not gonna encourage that, but, just a reality that we might need to face if we want all the schools to participate.
yeah, and I think the other key is to do it right the first time and not, like, even if this got pushed back to the fall instead of summer or something like that, it wouldn't be the end of the world, right?
I wouldn't think so, and the kids will just be, I mean, if they feel that connection, then that's just more community pride that we're building up, right? And the kids will get to go around town and see it, their
Absolutely.
work, and
Cool.
that's kind of what we want to drive home. And I don't feel like delivering it through email and the letters, because they do just get tossed as the best way to honor all the work that Evie has put in already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, let's, do you all want contacts at the schools? Do you wanna just, you guys kind of connect offline and just kind of set up times to go just cold call them? Do you wanna set up?
I think I'd be happy to meet with you, Nick, and
Yeah,
talk about it. And,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can, and I'll get in touch with Evie too, just to make sure that we're still honoring all of her ideas
Mhm.
in this process.
And also, we could potentially open it up to her if she wanted to come.
Yeah.
in.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Because
I'm
like
not
she
saying
knows
that.
how to like talk about it in a way that's kind of special.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it, great. So we're kind of on track, but this will be a bonus, like next level thing, which is great. Appreciate that. I think Abby will too, and she'll be willing, I'm sure, to help. I haven't heard from her, so I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
The timeline's there. There's a. Does it say, what does it say about installation? Does it say that?
It's supposed to be in April, May, in spring, which I think it still all could happen, right? But it's
I
just
think the
because.
goal is so you get like at the end of the school year, you're like, oh, there's it came to life.
Yeah. And how fun is that for like before graduation? And kids can show family members. Like that's a really
Absolutely.
good time of year to do it. So if we can make it happen by then, like I want to.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
This is a beautiful project.
Okay, are you ready to look at survey stuff?
Sure.
Okay, let me get it on the screen for everybody to see.
Let's see the
Sent it out
numbers.
again, and I know we got a couple more after I sent it out again, so that was exciting.
Okay,
But-
is this security?
Yes. I know that folks, even more now, folks that I contacted to help send it out didn't necessarily send it out, except for Art Center East was awesome about it and
Cool.
sent it out twice in their newsletters.
Love that.
Yeah.
This is-
Excuse me. Yes.
Okay. I have to use the big screen now. Okay, so we collected email addresses of everything, but that's okay. If I could make this bigger, I would, but I'm not really sure.
That's okay, I can see it.
How to do that.
Can you hit Control Plus?
Oh yeah.
We can try that. Where is it? Up here?
I've never seen
Oh,
forms
yeah,
get
look
bigger.
at
Look
that.
at that.
Look
at that.
You're so smart. Thanks. Does that work on Mac too?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That's
Okay.
brilliant. Okay, so I don't have it on my screen anymore, so we'll look at it together. So here, when you think about art in LeGrand, what have you seen or noticed, right? So
There's some
you can
good
see,
ones.
you can see Art Center, of course,
Film festival,
Film Festival. Yeah.
theater music, live music. Well, that's great.
Mhm. So this is, well, we'll go through the kind of this whole thing. How much time do you spend with the following?
Wait, before you go on, is that 79 new, or
Total.
is
Total.
that's total? That is
Yeah.
in addition to what we already saw. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 60 something, and then it jumped to that over the summer.
Yeah.
So it's not great, but it's not terrible. So here are how much time you spend.
I don't see a lot of time with any fives anywhere. What if we scroll to the right? They like sculptures and murals, public art, not so much. I think people aren't aware of what maybe constitutes as public art.
Yeah.
Like music, theater, and like
There you
music.
go. Comedy improv.
That's zero. Well, that's zero, right? Those are we don't have it, right?
Nothing here.
Film screenings, we don't really have independent film screenings except for film festival.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a comedy event that happened at, where's the bar? Why am I, there's like a sports bar down the way, like past Safeway.
Oh, Bud Jackson.
Bud Jackson's, they had a comedy thing
Oh.
there. But that's the only place I've ever seen it advertised.
Yeah, interesting. People
Um,
don't really do dance or art classes. So where are they spending most of their time? Well, no, art classes is getting some fives there.
there's some fives.
Yeah.
There's, let's see.
A lot of
There's
ones.
some theater fives.
Gosh, there is a lot of ones.
A lot of zeros and ones.
Mm-hmm.
Live music. So the top ones are probably live music, theater, and art classes.
Yeah.
Right? You see any other bars Like music, murals, sculptures, public art.
And public art is getting some, but.
Yeah.
So another thing I was thinking about looking at these bars is what are our strongest green bars?
Yes, yeah,
That's kind of dead in the middle.
yeah.
Let's go to the beginning here. Public art's strong. Murals are strong.
Those are things that surround them.
Yep.
Live music surrounds us.
Exhibitions.
Yeah, and theater surround us. So the things that aren't surrounding us are the ones that are kind of lacking. Dance gets
So what do you
it.
mean by surrounding us? Part of the environment?
Yeah, it's really part of the environment in the Grand. Like when you walk around the Grand, you see these things and you have them around you, and versus having to seek them out.
Yeah.
Right? If we're not having to go to the go to find those
Sure,
things,
sure.
it's just kind of there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So there's some weaknesses there we could build upon, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Is there enough of
One is
one,
not enough.
not enough? So this is very interesting.
That's interesting because those same things that kind of surround us are the things that they say there's not enough of.
Yeah.
That's
That is interesting.
Okay, so we go here.
So they want more. They're hungry. People are hungry for more. That's nice. The community is.
Art exhibitions is a third, like, people are like, there's enough of that.
There's enough of that. There's enough of theater too. And film screenings.
Comedy, improv.
3 is a simple, easy,
It's just
ho hum. I could agree, disagree. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we threw out all the 3s, that'd be interesting to see what,
Yeah.
if, you know.
Kind of force people to.
Oh, I like that book signings is getting not enough. That's kind of neat to
Mhm.
see. And dance performances, more dance performances, that's fun. And you know what the dance performances do tend to be the youth in the area performing, and maybe people are hungry to watch professional troops come through.
I am curious the people who marked a 5 on the dance, like, what is their life like?
Even more than
Like, how many dance performances?
They have 3 children in dance.
That's what it
and they're
is.
traveling to classes every day.
Like, oh,
That would be my guess.
Yeah. Are you a maker?
Yes,
No, yes, maybe.
maybe.
Half and half kind of thing?
Yeah.
Mostly no.
Yeah, I'd say the bulk of our community is not necessarily makers, or wouldn't consider themselves that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are makers though.
These are fill-in questions, right? So there's all kinds of different things.
Live music, theater, and murals. It's nice for somebody to say that they're supportive of the arts, just not a consumer. I guess high school guy.
I love it all.
Yeah, nice.
Christmas decor down.
Oh yeah, Christmas decor. I haven't really thought of that as being part of the art, but it is pretty. And people paint their windows. And
Yeah, that's fun.
Mardi Gras.
we have Mardi Gras here.
I don't know.
It's news to me.
Never seen that.
Well, I guess HQ sometimes has live music and beats.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the waterfall. It used to be at Cook Library. That was pretty. I loved that.
Yeah, GRH wrote that, but I didn't say that out loud.
Okay, great. These are great answers. There isn't much.
The mural sculpture thing at the library. Love it. These people are noticing the mural we all did.
Oh, they're missing the arts for all day. Look at that.
We still do that.
Yeah. It's just not
No,
a very
not
school,
a
so
very-
maybe they aren't aware.
Maybe.
It felt a little small last year.
Oh, that's good.
Landscapes for art. That's a good suggestion. Murals. I'm surprised to see murals as much as we are seeing it.
People love these murals.
I just have not ever been into murals until this summer. I started doing some research for the Northeast Oregon Arts Trail map, and I was surprised, like, there's some great murals out there. I never really realized it, but all over Eastern Oregon.
That's
There's
awesome.
some really good ones, even some buildings that are entirely painted. Like in Enterprise, the Mexican restaurant on the corner. It's almost a mural.
In itself,
the way it's painted,
yeah.
Cast iron Mary. Yes, I agree with that comment. Supporting the posts along the pathway in Bernie Park being taken care of. Retouched.
Yeah, they are getting worn out.
They are. They're very sad looking. Upkeep is a lot. Quilts at the library. Oh yeah, that's always awesome. You got a lot of great answers.
Yeah, stuff I never thought of.
What's limited music?
Probably live.
Oh, good point. Autocorrect. I thought maybe it was a genre that plays around here that I don't know
Just
about.
very angry music.
Phantom of the Opera
So
at
bad.
ALU. Did they do that?
I don't know when that was.
Oh, yeah. Probably while I was gone. So Art Center East keeps coming up. HQ. Don't have a favorite. I love it all!
And
That might be the not a consumer. Or it's hard to say there's a favorite. Those are great answers. That's very helpful.
yeah. Have you heard of and or did you know the following are venues in the Grand? Most people have heard of everything.
There was one that they hadn't for a while. I think it was further down the list.
Let's see.
I want to say it was Schwartz. Oh, but there it
Look
is.
at that.
Schwartz
Yeah.
there.
That's great. Well, this must have gone out to an arts community.
Yeah.
People who are in the know.
Should the city invest in a performance venue?
Yes, no, and maybe.
Lots of babies.
There's plenty of yes.
Yeah, the yeses beat out
There's a lot of yes
the
there.
no's.
Yeah.
And some people want, over 40 people want both indoor and outdoor. That's exciting.
And I would argue even the people who marked maybe would probably be thrilled if they suddenly saw that.
I think sometimes people see should the city invest in and they think potholes and
Yeah, for
other
sure.
things, right? Like,
Yeah.
no, we don't waste our money on this. Maybe not. Maybe they're
Well, there's that voice is out there. I've
For
heard it
sure.
lots. Yeah.
because I mean that's always the number one thing, right? The streets and roads and why
Mhm.
would the city like even the Riverside Playground, even though they're two separate budgets, people are like, why don't you fix the roads instead of we don't need a playground, fix the roads. Well, they don't understand city budget, right? Because
Yeah.
it's totally different. It doesn't
Right.
mix. But the sentiment's real.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes I think part of what Arts Commission could do is work towards helping educate the public about how robust a community can be if we honor that the youth need a play space or that arts will help feed the soul and nourish the soul. I don't know.
Yeah. This is pretty strong. More murals, public art.
That is
downtown.
so interesting.
They want the murals. We gotta give the people what they
Yeah,
want.
murals are so hard though because they go on private property and then we have no control over upkeep
You're absolutely right.
unless we work it into the language of the mural, which is what Ivy was working on too though, right? Was language for how to do the murals and expect upkeep from the property owners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
More public art displayed beyond the Grand's downtown.
That's exciting.
How could the city better represent itself? More murals.
Top comment.
Don't politicize public art.
Really cheesy murals.
Is it toxic contaminant? Oh, if they have political art out there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm like, wait, this question isn't politicizing it.
Yeah.
I like that, coordinate communications. An artist of the month, I like that idea.
public utility boxes, we're gonna do that bottom one.
Yeah, that's exciting.
So that's cool. Somebody called it.
I'm not an artist, so I don't know. Include children. Yes, agreed.
We're doing that?
Cover less attractive buildings with art. Murals.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Cheaper art classes. That's interesting because Art Center East offers free art classes to kids.
It doesn't get cheaper than that.
And yeah.
I think that's when my kids were little and I was looking at that, they weren't free. So that's a
No.
fairly new thing.
It
Like
is
in
new
the
in the
last
last year.
10 years even.
I think it
Oh,
was
last year, yeah. So that's something they can learn from and be like, hey, get that out there.
Yeah.
Because I had a kid that was dying to take art classes, but it was like two days for $140, and I'm like,
Yeah. It is expensive, but the value in it is so
Oh, for sure.
incredible. Child-friendly museum with interactive exhibits. Ooh, hopefully they'll come to the Day of the Dead. I should have an interactive exhibit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exciting. Ooh, public spaces where local artists and students can display their work. I like that idea.
That's a great idea.
Well, the library. I'm sure we could work with the library.
somebody wanted to do art in the park one time too at this meeting. And it was just like, pick a park, maybe one of the smaller ones, right? You used to have artists like on
Like
each,
plein air.
like in
Yeah.
corners of the park, right? People could just kind of, maybe there's music playing in the background, maybe a taco truck or something, and then
Mhm.
it's just like everybody's vibing and hanging out and watching artists do their thing, and then giving them an opportunity to sell that or to display it.
So here's a like a random thought. You know the whole like golden ticket Willy Wonka thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, that whole art in the park, like what if we sold it as art in the park, but there's a painting with like some sticker on it. And if you get it, like there's a cash prize.
Oh, that's fun.
That would encourage people wanting to be buying art,
Yeah.
And then somebody gets to win something,
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's something we could totally pull off next summer if we could, work.
But have the cash
find-
prize be something serious, like
Yeah.
like $500,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a corporate sponsor and just have it.
Yep.
Do it.
Does that not constitute as a raffle? If they're purchasing art for it?
I don't know. we'd
That's a
have to-
gray area.
Oh. Because it's a good idea, it's fun, I buy into it, but I just wasn't sure if that would. The raffles and the lotteries confuse me with the laws.
We'd have to look into it, but
That's a good idea, I like it. I like that they're pointing out that we could just do some more beautification with art. And that we could do it in landscaping too, those are such good ideas. Facilitating grants.
there it is, the roads.
Where do you see the roads?
It's a big long paragraph.
Oh.
Right
It says there to
here.
representation. What is the goal of representation?
Unless it has a significant positive benefit for the city, which it 100% would. Everything that we're doing is, I just can't believe how fun it is to look at the library. I stare at the library now because of that art outside, right?
Yeah.
And how
People
cool
are
that building is.
like people literally. I went by there several times. There's like looking at it,
Wow.
like, hanging out, engaging with it, right?
Yes.
Look at this.
Yeah.
It's like magic.
Yeah.
My favorite.
And people are talking and communicating, and that's what a community is, right? So
So,
And at the farmers market, people go over there, and yeah, it's
it's pretty awesome.
yeah. It's a nice piece of art.
I like this: repair current murals, install art beyond the historic district, and create art display at on-ramp. Oh, that's a good idea. Is that Emmy's?
I think I know that's somebody else's idea that
Yeah.
very active in the community.
Oh, fun. Good. Partner with ELU Schools Arts East. Oh, that's a neat idea. Clear credit to artists. Yes, that's a good idea too. Oh, can we go back up? So this city of Joseph, Portland, and even bigger city allows street sculpture that add a great deal to the atmosphere. and we have some street sculpture here too, but what I found interesting over the summer was that Baker City rents their street sculptures. It's a rental program.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they change them out. Like right now, they have a lot of cattle for, it's like their 100th anniversary or something for some big anniversary they're having.
Mhm.
So they're keeping the cattle for longer, but they have like lions and seals, and there's an alligator crawling up one building, like, and they're all bronze statues,
Wow.
beautiful.
Rented, yeah.
And it's all rented. It's kind of
That's right.
neat. Joseph, on the other hand, is their local artist. But
I think that it just takes time and effort, right? Like this mural project took a couple years, but if we did one like every 2 or 3 years, like imagine what that could be like in a decade or two, right?
Mhm.
Like it takes direction and dedication.
and then the art downtown just makes people linger,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. So it would be nice. I agree, murals could be touched up. I did notice that a lot. Our murals looked pretty sad compared
Like
to
you said,
places.
it's all private stuff, so it's hard for
Yeah.
the commission to do anything.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any way the commission could offer support like URAC does for businesses for
Yeah.
facade update, keep.
Wow.
We need to keep honoring artists in a way that is reflective of the current nature of the city of LaGrande. What does that mean?
Huh.
I'm trying to figure out like what they are trying to say there.
Yeah. Maybe not just lingering with the past
I guess.
and the future, but what's happening now.
Right. More dance.
Yay! Get some outdoor art installations around town. So people want it.
Yes, they do.
IDK. Good. They really want to see artists showcased too. I like that. We are a very live music heavy per capita, I think, valley, as far as arts go.
Mm-hmm.
Always been that way since I moved here 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually first people we met down there. Oh, the live music here is awesome. You should check it out.
Yeah, the music scene here is fun.
The city could lower taxes to keep the cost of living lower for artists. Interesting.
Not sure the city has many taxes, but that's what
No, for most of our-
All right, where would you install public
Oh,
art?
this is the one I want to see.
Yes.
The magic wand.
Downtown.
Oh, EOU. That would be a very specialized magic wand.
City parks, downtown, trash cans, city parks, downtown, schools, railroad.
Interesting. Are there places that put art on their trash cans?
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
Saw that in Europe.
interesting. Is the trash can itself painted like art? Or
Well,
like the
it
canvas?
was like the casing around
Oh,
the can, yeah.
okay, gotcha. Vacant shops, yes. Yes. Street side art galleries, I would love more of those.
Mhm.
Murals.
On the corner of Spruce and Island Avenue.
That's the old Del Monte, is what they call it. It's a big old factory looking
Oh,
building.
okay.
So if you're coming from here, you're going on Monroe, it sits right to your left as you turn onto Island Avenue, kinda,
Yeah.
it's just an old factory building
That
basically.
would be cool to paint that.
Max Square, parks,
Wait, the one that looks like it's part of the mill?
yeah,
Mhm.
Okay.
kinda to that
Mhm.
farthest, I don't know what direction that is.
Yeah, I just assumed it was
West.
part of the mill, but it's not, huh?
No. It could be seen out of the train station, that would be easy.
I do like the ideas of underpasses and overpasses. There's like so many, our overpass over the freeway, say, is that outside of city limits? Or does city limits go clear to the fairgrounds? Do you know?
Yeah, I think it's inside city limits.
So, but just so many cities have art over the freeway that is inviting.
Yeah.
And that's one of our 2 exits. It's in between the 2 exits. It'd be a great place.
That's a really good
at
idea.
least heading.
Heck yeah, have some
heading
like
east.
metal, like some metal art up on the thing. Yeah.
I think of the Dalles. Is that where it is? The artwork up on like the cattle and the fish
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. Oregon Trail one is entering Oregon and Ontario, right? There's
Yeah.
this really cool wagon train one. There's several.
Yeah. That would work for here too, because we're also on the Oregon Trail. Everywhere. Thank you.
No space would be safe.
Somebody thinks there's plenty of it already. That's interesting.
Living wall art.
Ugh, I don't agree with that.
The living wall art.
No. The nowhere else. There's plenty of it already.
Oh, I know, that's
I
what I
don't
said.
think so. Living walls are cool. They're maintenance though.
Yeah. That's Safeway. Interesting. Disguising the building by the middle school.
Not a fan.
Ugh. I appreciate that building went up because now I don't have to see the blue lights of their stupid sign.
Oh.
I hate that sign.
It's bright.
It's
like,
very
don't
bright.
they have a nighttime?
You would think, right?
I need to email the school.
Like
because
your
it's
phone
dark
does
enough.
it.
Yeah,
So
like a
why
dark
does
mode.
it-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It
you're
is-
watching
it
phone
is an
adjust to the
assault.
light.
Mhm.
It's an assault. I need to email the school district because it's awful. Can't even see the stars anymore because of one sign.
Mm.
Huge sculpture hanging from Sac Annex.
Place the EOU stairs at a lifted walking/bike path over the street. That's ambitious.
That is really
That's-
ambitious, but that's a fun
That's a
idea.
fun idea. Several $1 million.
Mhm.
The stairs are getting replaced as we speak, so.
Yeah, but not with a bike
No.
lifted path, whatever. What is a lifted walking bike path? Is that just up higher than
I'm
like so the
imagining
city would be?
like that thing they have in Chicago with it's like a mini, like a strip park, and it's like up on the concrete, but it's like above the city,
Oh.
and it's like a way for you to walk or bike to one part of the city. Or
Oh, that's fun.
It must be $1 billion.
yeah, I know.
Performance arts. Same but different.
The hospital.
It's quick typing, quick typing. At least they filled it out.
Yeah.
Alright.
A dance studio.
Sexy heels.
Pole dance, tango,
There's lots of.
bachata, and more.
That's interesting because that is going on right now, not in its own studio space, but in various
It's
studios.
like very specific.
Yeah.
Lots of downtown, lots of parks.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe bathroom.
Old 4th Avenue Theater. What's 4th
I have
Avenue?
no idea what that is.
Are they talking about the Liberty Theater?
Oh, maybe.
That's close to 4th Street.
Maybe. Did we miss anything? Nope.
Interesting. Make sure the art center is, oh, they must think that the art center is tied to the city.
Yeah.
Partnership wouldn't be bad.
So this person's like, graffiti, gorilla graffiti. Get out there and do it, Banksy.
Heard Banksy was going to reveal himself. that just random?
I heard it's just like some like older guy that hires like people, like
Go do
younger
it?
people to go out there and throw the art out.
Oh, that's fun.
Hmm.
Or convenience, or convince the university to restore its outdoor amphitheater. Their outdoor amphitheater was never really an amphitheater. That's the interesting thing about that. It was just a kind of a pit in the ground, like it is now, just with not volleyball parks in it. Right?
Yeah.
Like it didn't change much. Like Cove murals.
Yeah. Pretty for a year or two.
Oh, and then nobody seems to care about their upkeep. Is that mine? That might be mine. I don't remember what I put. A key cultural destination event. So I would imagine, are they talking like film festival? Oh, there we go. More opportunities for teenagers. Aw. Giro.
Oh, then.
It's a band here in town. And when their equipment's broken, they call themselves No Giro.
Amazing.
In that Bud Middle School.
Bad.
Oh.
I think that's it. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So I'll send this link out, to everybody, and we will. You guys can all read them from your comfort of your own home, and then it would be nice to start. I think your dream with this was to create some sort of plan out of it, right?
Yeah.
So at least priorities. So it sounds like just from a brief, what do you think would priorities?
To be honest, just looking at it, I don't know if I have an idea of what priorities would be, other than maybe it's time to actually start talking about an outdoor performance venue. Because once Liberty's open, I think that it could be something great as far as indoor goes. But the only problem with that is that it's not open to like boxed in production, so like I don't think many theater things will happen in there, just mostly music and one-day events will happen in there. When it finally opens. So I don't want to like say no to an indoor performance venue, but I think thinking about just outdoor first might be the way to go. Especially if Grande keeps talking about the pavilion that they've talked about in the past and they're starting to talk about again.
What is that?
They were talking about putting a pavilion in over the parking lot downtown, across from the Presbyterian Church. Yeah.
Yeah, that second. It's probably more than the city.
Yeah. And maybe turning that into a pavilion. At one point there was talk about that.
There's plans, yeah.
But it hasn't been able to go anywhere. So I just think there's opportunities maybe on the horizon. I think becoming a part of the city's budget so that the Arts Commission could support the arts in a variety of ways, whether it's giving to the Parks and Rec programming or giving to Arts Center East programming or to schools programming,
It's tough because the budget committee over the years have not encouraged funding of outside sources at all. There's been several requests from several different organizations over the years, and it's like, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Has been the stance of the council and the budget committee. So that would be a change, which there's a one councilor change happening in January, which may or may not sway. I don't know who that is, but it's her. So,
We can't talk about that here.
anyway, but it would be a change, right? In philosophy, not that
Yeah.
it could change, but I think that another way to look at that would be how could a city budget support an outdoor performance space development?
Yes.
Or public art downtown, which seemed to come up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Or murals, which came up a lot. I don't know how a city budget can support that, but maybe there's creative ways to think about those things
Yeah.
versus supporting Arts Center East and Because arguably, somebody could say the city already supports Arts Center East with $1 a year lease for that building.
Yes.
Arguably, right?
Arguably, yes, they could. I don't know
Maybe
much
it's-
about the lease, but
Maybe it's not reality, maybe it is, you know what I mean? So,
yes, I'm not in the know on that one. But I do think that having some sort of a reason to ask for being on the budget matters.
yeah,
And I think we have enough reason coming in saying people want a more vibrant community, and art brings vibrancy to a place. And it builds community and it builds conversations. I mean, even the people who are telling me, oh, I don't like the new art installation, at least it's a conversation, right? We're having a conversation.
Yeah.
And it's creating.
everybody wants to see my kids. No,
Oh,
probably
thanks for
don't.
sharing. So, and we really can't make a next step decision right now anyway, so.
No, it's just a
Yeah,
big
something to
review
think.
thing, so.
So, I mean, maybe this is a naive statement. I genuinely don't know, but what do we think about, I mean, just based on what I saw on the survey, like what if we like poked the idea of sending out an inquiry to the actual building owners of downtown, saying, hey, would you be willing to have your building drawn on or
Yeah.
painted on? Maybe some would say yes, probably most would say no, but there'd be a couple yeses maybe.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of private, well, no, I can't say a lot, I'm sorry. I've heard that a couple of private building owners don't want to have to deal with the upkeep, or they don't want to be told what they can or can't have on the side of their building, and I think that's part of the problem with the murals right now, and they feel like there's too much red tape, I guess I
I
should
see.
say.
Okay.
So I think it's a good idea, and I think it should happen, but I think we might want to have a little more forethought on what they might come back with. And how can we, not necessarily circumvent it, but how can we help solve that problem before it is even a problem?
Yeah.
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 May 1st.
But I definitely think it's a good idea, because with that many people saying murals, you know, I think it's just people want to see color in the Grand. They're ready for more vibrant, like coming back to life colors, I feel like.
Yeah.
That's what-
Especially after the pandemic, right? Like
Mhm.
For sure.
we're getting out and we want to see joy.
The other opportunity is what are the public spaces that we can do without engaging private.
Oh, that's
ownership,
true.
right?
Yeah.
Are there public spaces and right of ways that we can look for? You know, there's a small city park downtown.
That's
There's
right. Couple of
there's the
them.
underpass that was brought up a few times there, which is public but not city owned, right? It's a state highway, but there might be, you know, signal box wraps are definitely going to make a huge impact. I think.
Mhm.
I think if we took this survey next fall, people would be like, love those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because most people are at a stoplight and they're just like, what's going to look at?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the updates. So I'm going to kind of close this out if I can find my mouse.
Before this project was brought up, I never even noticed the signal boxes.
I
And
know-
now I see them everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, those are real.
Oh, that's what we were talking about.
Well, I know what we were talking about. I just was like, I have
That's
never
what those
seen
are,
them.
yeah.
I've never seen them because they're not interesting to look at. So
It's
I
like
don't.
that phenomenon, like when the car that you drive, you start seeing it all over the
Yes.
place.
Yeah. Your eye is trained for it now.
All right, so one more weird little spitball idea, again based on the survey. What if we actually what if we took some of the ideas from the survey and saw if any artists wanted to do like a concept piece, like what would a mural, like what would like that alleyway, that like mural alleyway, like what might that look like? What might, you know, metal art over the pass look like, you
I
know?
think that's a lovely
And having
idea.
some concept art out there, because a lot of times people have trouble like visualizing things,
Yes.
and if we can help them visualize something, they can maybe get behind it.
Is that something we could put a bid out for?
Sure.
Some
I mean, the
concept
public
art.
the
Under
public
a
art
call for
policy-
proposals?
Yeah, I mean, the public art policy lines all that up. How to do that?
Perfect. That's a good idea. Do you want to look into that?
No,
Okay.
but I'm going to.
Well, if you don't want to right now, that's
I
fine.
just, I mean, I already feel like I'm in over my head here, but
But you're-
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just trying.
Well, I'm happy to meet with you outside of here to just talk about anything that I can recall from what I've done in the last
Mhm.
couple of years and I'm happy to help. Like, I don't think you should have to do all of this by yourself. We've got a whole commission here.
Evie's a worker bee too, like
Yeah.
she's a God do stuff, that's one of her
Mhm.
strengths, so.
Yeah.
I think that keeping that in mind. It just, I mean, you could look, I can send you the call for artists for that mural and you can just sort of tweak it for this.
Mhm.
Concept art, what does that mean? What are you asking for? Concept art should be blank. We're gonna either pay you or not to give us submissions. I mean, all that stuff was included in the last thing.
Will you send that to me too, and then maybe we could just sit down and get coffee and
Yeah.
talk over it and
Sure.
see what we can come up with. And I guess maybe just as the whole arts commission, so that they're aware, since they're not over here tonight.
Yeah.
I do have to get going because I have to direct.
Oh jeez, it's already 6:30.
I know, it's surprising two of us could talk that much.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of data to look at.
That's true.
Okay, you guys are feeling good then?
Yep.
Okay, we
New
don't have to
business.
adjourn or anything because
It's not an
we're
actual
not
meeting.
doing it. I'm gonna stop the stream. Bye, Karen.
Bye, Karen. Thank you.